Nicely bowled once again by Shivam. And that'll end the second over. 8 for no loss. Decent start for the bowling side. That's pretty simple. 9 a.m. start, so it's not too easy to get the ball away. Plus it's a pink ball, so if you win the toss, the best option is to bowl first. And that has been the precedent for a long time in CCFC. Overcast conditions in the morning, and as the day progresses, it's easier to bat. It's like a dream to bat, actually, having played here for the last 8 years. And that's pretty much it. It's easier to chase, and especially a side like Doon coming from all parts of the country and some from international waters as well. It'll take you a while to get used to the dimensions of the ground. So as a visiting side, it's not too easy to bat first, and that's why it's a simple decision for the CCFC captain to bowl first.
Ooh, thick edge. Fended it strongly. Did Shaurya Sharma. And the thick edge went flying towards the third region. There is a man in the deep. Raghav Malik will pick up a single.
Sukesh Verma bowling his second over. Nicely played away this time by Raghav, and that'll go all the way to the boundary. So the first boundary for the DSOBS. It's Raghav Malik, and having seen him bat before, he doesn't bide his time in the centre. Likes to make the most of the power play. Play some attacking shots, and he gets his first boundary. Very good comeback from Sukesh. Just angling it away from Raghav. There is Anirban Das, the skipper of the CCFC side today. This is the CCFC C team. We've got A, B, C teams. Women's team coming up as well. Lots of cricket being playing in CCFC. Nicely played away by Shaurya. Into the hands of Anirban. Was that a catching opportunity? Not too sure.
Straying down the leg, gets a tickle off the edge of the bat, and it's going to race away to the boundary. A welcome one from Shaurya Sharma. Wayward line from Sukesh Verma gets punished. Not much the wicketkeeper could have done on this occasion to apprehend that one from going all the way to the fence.
It must be said that it is a pink ball. Players aren't too used to it, especially the opening bowlers. Sometimes a bit too much of swing. This one slightly shorter. Shaurya couldn't get it away. End of the third. Dosco 18 for none.
3 overs done. A mix of pace and spin from the two ends already. And looks like we'll have a second change bowler in Vedant Gupta coming in for the 4th over. More spin this time around. Over the wicket to Raghav Malik. Starts off wide and short, back of a length. Cut away towards, well, past the fielder at point. Interesting that we are kicking off this first ever CCFC versus DSOBS Calcutta cricket weekend with a pink ball fixture. That's a wide delivery from Vedant Gupta, because the first ever pink ball test, remember, in India took place in this very city, Calcutta, at the Eden Gardens. So interesting choice from the organizers, you would think, to start this mega affair between the Doon School, Old Boys Society and CCFC with a pink ball.
In the slot, Shaurya goes for it. Connects pretty well. It's in the air. And it will be another boundary. Didn't get all of it, but enough. So it races towards the fence. Another boundary for Shaurya.
2 wides followed up by a lusty blow from Shaurya. 4 is what he will get for that terrific shot of his. Heaved into the leg side. And all the fielders and the bowler himself could do was be spectators and see it sailing towards the ropes.
A bit of pressure on the youngster Vedant Gupta. And you're right, the pink ball is very special to Kolkata because of that first test that took place here. CCFC ourselves playing a lot of pink ball fixtures this season. In the slot once again, Shaurya hits it straighter this time. Has got all of it. And goes all the way for the first maximum of the morning.
That wasn't a bad delivery, mind you. It was directed straight into the stumps. But stand and deliver is what Shaurya Sharma did. Terrific shot, excellent timing. And he's dealing in boundaries, isn't he?
Absolutely. Now he's got his eye in. 20 or 14. Just to tell the viewers, wides are counted. You get 3 runs off a wide delivery. That's why even though Vedant has bowled 2 wides, it still shows for 5 balls. Those are the rules in the CCFC C team fixture. 1 more ball to go on the 4th.
Ooh, that was an interesting way to end his opening over. Vedant concedes 15 of his first over, and at the end of the 4th, DSOBS are 33 without losing a wicket.
Sukesh continues. Raghav with a slightly unorthodox shot. Still waiting to get himself away into the double digits.
He's mostly been spectator at the other end, while Shaurya Sharma had taken the onus on himself to deliver the fireworks in that previous over of Vedant Sharma's. Vedant Gupta. It is, I beg your pardon.
So 3 overs on the trot for Sukesh Verma, very experienced campaigner. Tough to bat against with the new ball, especially the pink ball. Can move it both ways.
Ooh, lunges forward and flicks it. Quite risky, that stroke. The fielder is chasing it, but in futility, It had enough legs to delivery and the ball to go all the way to the ropes. Welcome shot, welcome boundary. And interesting how he executed that. Mahendra Singh Dhoni would be proud of the way he injected, tons of wrist into that stroke, did Raghav Malik.
Absolutely, it was a mixture of a sweep and a flick. This time just plays it away. Good comeback by Sukesh.
And look how deep he's standing in the crease. Raghav, unlike relative to Shaurya Sharma.
I think if Raghav takes a couple of steps forward, it will help him actually. Nicely spotted. Now that's a poor ball by Sukesh. Keeper can't stop it. Should go all the way to the boundary. And that'll be 6 of that particular ball with the delivery counted.
Right, should be 4 byes plus an additional 2 runs for the wide. So 6 conceded of that very wayward delivery. The boundaries are coming thick and fast for the DSOBS team. Very strong start from the Doon School old boys. This time around, uses the feet, tries to flick it again into the leg side, but there is a fielder stopping that in that very position. End of the 5th over, and DSOBS are 43 for no loss.
Abhishek Talani, another off spinner. So the third off spinner in 6 overs being introduced by Anirban. The last over of the power play. Abhishek, another talented youngster, just come into CCFC. Plays for the 2nd division professional side as well. Needs to stop Shaurya, that's the objective. Loopy Yorker, which is something you don't see too much. That is poor from the fielder. It goes through Sailesh's legs. Brilliantly stopped though. Wonderful work by Madhav Patel.
Excellent work in the deep after that misfield from his colleague. Put in the dive just in time. And I'm sure you must have covered a fair bit of ground as well, because he came absolutely sprinting in. Usain Bolt, is that you? No. It is one of CCFC's very own Madhav. And rightly being applauded by the spectators on the sidelines.
Flicked away this time by Shaurya. Wonderfully fielded by Madhav, very passionate sportsman himself. Madhav actually the brother of Shivam Patel, who just bowled. He's a good bowler as well. We might see Madhav with the ball soon.
Ooh, nicely tucked into the leg side. And Shaurya looks the part, he's been training for this game or training for his other cricketing commitments fairly frequently. And back and across, makes room and drills it towards long on, and there is another misfield, but this time around it's not as conspicuous as the previous one. A single taken.
Looks like Madhav wants to take the ball as close to the boundary as possible and then stop it. Nicely played away by Raghav, comes down the ground, heaves it towards the leg side. That's another boundary, brilliantly played by Raghav Malik.
You've got to love the ingenuity being showcased here by Raghav Malik. Look at the use of the wrist again. He came down, sized it up very well, but there was the very late adjustment he made to ensure that this is not something he should be able to play towards the straight V. He has to go towards the leg side. Very disciplined copybook defense this time around, following up on that 6 end of the power play. And the DOS scores are 52 without losing a wicket. And as you had predicted, Liam, we have Madhav Patel being introduced into the attack right after the power play. He had been saving a lot of runs for CCFC in the deep. And here he is with the ball in hand this time around, about to roll his arm over with some pace bowling of his. Right. Right arm medium pacer, Madhav Patel into the action. Oh, again, flicks it nicely, does Shaurya Sharma. Excellent shot. His pickup shots have been an absolute delight to watch. Another boundary to his name. He's been terrific the way he's been using his feet as well as his wrists, taking some inspiration from his partner at the other end, Raghav Malik. Expensive start to Madhav Patel's first over. 6, which comes off the bat of Shaurya Sharma.
Incredible batting by these two. Already 58 on the board, just 37 balls. And that's another one. Brilliantly played. Over mid-off, or rather long off this time. 6 is signalled by Anirban. He's got to stop these two somehow, some way, but it's looking tough. 2 6s in a row for Shaurya.
Leg side, offside. He's not sparing any inch of this ground, is Shaurya Sharma. A delectable inside-out lofted cover drive for a maximum. And he held the pose after hitting that boundary. Extraordinary from Shaurya, who's motored to 35 of just 21 deliveries. This opening partnership now worth 64 in the 7th over.
That's a good comeback from Madhav. And it's always a treat, isn't it, when a Sharma opens the batting. It's been a while since we've seen this, but 35 of 22. What a start from Shaurya. Flicked away again this time. There will be protection in the deep. The power play is done.
The ball kept a tad low this time around. Into the pads. But nicely dealt with by Shaurya. Sharma, as you rightly mentioned. One is clearly in form, and we know which one we're talking about. The other, well, we have the Champions Trophy coming up, so who knows? Come a major ICC event, cometh back the form of the other Sharma, Rohit, is whom we are talking about.
Absolutely, no doubting that. Last ball of the 7th. Flicked away again by Shaurya. Madhav is lucky. That didn't go to the boundary as well. 14 of his first, 7 gone, 66 for none.
Right. After 7 overs, DSOBS are 66 without losing a wicket. So what is it that CCFC can do to stop this Shaurya Sharma Raghav Malik juggernaut? Remember, it's the first fixture of the CCFC versus DSOBS Calcutta cricket weekend, though the Doon versus CCFC cricket match has been a tradition that has spanned over 30 years and was revived after a 12-year hiatus in 2023. This very fixture, as you see on your screens right now, was earlier called the Gentlemen of Calcutta versus CCFC. But now, as we know it, it's the DSOBS CCFC fixture.
Nicely bowled by Abhishek. There's lots of tradition surrounding both these great institutions, DSOBS, or rather the Doon School, and CCNFC. So great to see this fixture revived. It was an enjoyable one last year, won by CCNFC. Doon School wanting to win this one. Pulled away again by Shaurya. Not enough bounce on it this time. I think this is the key, Abhishek Talani. If he can break this partnership, he's used to bowling against very strong batters.
And of course, helming the commentary duties today as well as presentation is myself. But hey, is that a skyer that is going to land safely? No, it doesn't. Terrific catch by the fielder there. And Sukesh, the fielder, gives CCFC their first breakthrough of the match. Top edge, and it flew towards the fielder at point. He didn't have to do much, Liam. Just make a bit of ground, keep his eyes on the ball, and settle underneath it. But the most important part, get to the catch and hold on to it.
Absolutely, that's a very good catch from Sukesh. I'll tell you why, because you're not used to spotting the pink ball in the sky. And it went pretty high, was a top edge, it was spinning a bit. Brilliantly taken by him. Raghav has to depart for a well-made 20 odd. But as I mentioned, it had to be Abhishek to break this partnership. And he has done exactly what was asked of him. But what a partnership to start things off. 68 on the board already for the Dosco side.
And as my fellow commentator, Liam rightly called it, it was Abhishek Tailani indeed who made the first inroad in the form of that wicket. A much needed breakthrough under the circumstances. DSOBS had gotten off to an absolute flyer courtesy of those big lusty blows off the blade of Shaurya Sharma and Raghav Malik as well. A few wayward deliveries on either side of the wicket. A few misfields as well to compound their woes. But here is Abhishek Tailani finally making the inroads. Back of a lane delivery and guided towards the fielder at cover.
Tidy over so far from Abhishek. Attacking the stumps, Dinesh will get off the mark. They want to come back for 2 and should do so comfortably. Smart batting from Dinesh. You've seen his Cricket Hero stats, got 850s, 200s.
Terrific start from Abhishek Tailani against the run of play. Just 4 runs of his first 5 overs. Can he finish off strong? He does. Gets an inside edge and nicely stopped by the fielder right on the periphery of the inner circle, end of the 8th over, and DSOBS are 71 for 1. Nicely called. He's the As we inch closer to the 9th over, likely to be bowled by Madhav. I gather that my fellow commentator Liam Bain is quite the insider. He's an encyclopedia on all things CCFC and even the DSOBS team, as you must have made out by now. And the reason is he himself is a regular player, no less, on the A team of CCFC. So I do have one of CCFC's very own right next to me in the comm box today. Madhav Patel will be in action with his second over.
Slightly loopy delivery there from Madhav. Dinesh still trying to get himself set.
What are you doing in the comm box, Liam? Tell me about that.
Well, anything for CCFC. Whether it's commentating, do a bit of refereeing as well. Definitely play quite a bit of sport here as well. It's like a second home to me. Very well bowled again by Madhav. So, yeah, pretty much here almost every day. And have been associated with Vienna Sports as well for a while. So, whenever I need to get onto the mic, never going to say no to that either. Would love to be playing too. But for now, enjoying this battle between the DOSCO side and CCFC. Shaurya on 37 now.
Love the length he's bowling, keeping it very full, not allowing the batter to rock back as they have been doing most of these batters so far. So a good second over, at least a very good first 3 balls from Madhav Patel, who had given away 14 in his opening over.
Played away by Dinesh, who's slowly getting into the groove. In fact, he's found the gap as well. Didn't realize that he struck it so nicely. He gets his first boundary.
He rocked back ever so languorously. Look at that, very languid, back and across, and just cut it almost as if an afterthought. Woke up, took a sip of his coffee cup and decided to play that cut shot and pick up a 4. Excellent stuff from Dinesh Reddy.
Nicely done by Madhav. He knocks him over. Gets Dinesh Reddy. This time, that fuller length, that Yorker length which you were speaking about. And he gets his first wicket of the morning.
Excellent Yorker that crashes into the leg stump of Dinesh. And the second breakthrough comes in the second over of Madhav Patel. DSOBS slumped to 77 for 2. A short stay for Dinesh, short, enterprising as well. But Madhav will be very, very impressed with his own efforts, and he gets just rewards for persisting with that foolish length, a Yorker, which could not be read by Dinesh Patel. Does the trick this time around, and it is Dhanvi Shukla, who is the new batter in, and he'll be joining forces with the set batter in Shaurya Sharma.
Very good comeback from Madhav after getting hit for quite a bit in that first over. Altered his length. Maybe that was something that was discussed. Now Dhanvi is the new batter. Shaurya hasn't had much of the strike, which Madhav won't really complain about. That'll do him some confidence though.
2 overs in 2 wickets in as many overs. So a very good comeback and fight being put up by CCFC, the fielding side.
Good intent from Dhanvi, just trying to walk down the wicket, intimidate Madhav perhaps. But he does well. That's the end of the 9th over. Lots of batting to come. It's 77 for 2.
Right, the first breakthrough giver, Abhishek Tailani, back in action. Starts off wide and slightly short, fended away by the fielder. There is a bit of a misfield, but there is protection in the deep. But the misfield does allow the batters to scamper across for a second run. Abhishek wouldn't be too happy with that effort put in the deep. Slight adjustments being made by the wicketkeeper as well in the field.
Shot again, pulled away. Shaurya hasn't got too much on it. Will just trickle away towards long on for a single. So Shaurya doesn't want to see Abhishek's overs through. He wants to keep going. Some of the other batters may be slightly tentative towards Abhishek, but not Shaurya. He's not going to stop.
Ooh, takes an edge this time around. There is some turn that we are seeing every time Abhishek Tailani is pitching on middle and off to the right-handers. And the last delivery also turned away ever so slightly.
Nicely bowled once again. There you see, this time it's moving away from the batter, a bit of drift away. So he does like to bowl those straighter ones. As the ball gets older, he does turn it, but this being a T20, tries to just angle it away from the batters. A few tidy overs now for the CCFC bowling side.
Ooh, left alone. And the umpire feels it's a legitimate delivery, so doesn't stretch his arms. Very disciplined over. Just 5 conceded of it last ball. Add maybe just a single to that. End of the 10th over. And after the halfway mark, DSOBS are 83 for 2.
So Madhav will continue. 2 overs, 1 for 20. Current run rate is 8.3. How much can the Roscoe side get in this first innings? Dhanvi comes down the wicket, makes it into a full toss but doesn't capitalize, just the single. Down to long off.
Maybe he figured that it is the full length delivery barrage that Madhav is going to send his way, did Dhanvi, and he took a few steps towards the bowler, turned it into a full toss, didn't quite get all of it, managed only a single, brings back Shaurya Sharma on strike, the said batter, the guy who has delivered the batting pyrotechnics so far in the opening fixture of the DSOBS versus CCFC, first ever Calcutta cricket weekend.
Down the wicket once again, Shaurya plays it really well, but there is protection. Madhav, oh, they come back for 2. That's brilliant running. Dhanvi is very quick. And I was just going to say Madhav will be happy to see the back of Shaurya, but he has to face him once again. He's under a bit of pressure here. 44 of 30. What a start from Shaurya.
Full length, outside off, and he gave it the kitchen sink, did he? Does it go all the way? It does. The smattering of crowd along the boundary ropes are applauding this stupendous effort by Shaurya Sharma, as they rightly should. He's injected dollops of entertainment early morning at CCFC here on Saturday. The pink ball is not being able to keep up with the lusty blows and the muscle Shaurya Sharma is injecting.
Fantastic stuff from him. That brings up the 50 as well with that big hit. Does it in style. Oh, that has been missed. That's another poor misfield from the CCFC side to add insult to injury. 10 of the last 2 balls. Shaurya is turning it on. The pink ball travels as well. There's lots of lacquer on the ball. It swings, but when you strike it, it just goes over the fence a lot easier than the red ball. Madhav is finding that out the hard way. 92 on the board now. And cut away once again. Past short third. Past the sweeper on the boundary. Back-to-back 4s. That'll bring up the 100 now for the DSOBS. And Shaurya has got more than half of it.
Oh, the milestones are coming in thick and fast for Shaurya Sharma, and DSOBS got to his 50 with a 6, followed it up with 2 4s on either side of the wicket, and he's trotted to 58 of just 33 deliveries, and DSOBS are into the 3 digits themselves as the team total goes. There's nothing stopping this gentleman, is there?
Oh no, there isn't. They'll take another single. Takes him now to 59. What an over. 11 overs gone. The Roscoe side 101 for 2.
Looks like Abhishek Tailani, the spin bowler who's been the pick of the bowlers clearly for CCFC today, is going to bowl out in just the 12th over. His stride putting in some resistance in the face of the big hits of Shaurya Sharma, was successful, delivered the first breakthrough, following which there was a bit of deceleration that DSOBS faced in terms of their run scoring. But Shaurya Sharma, once he got back strike and got it a fair few times, he's made good on those opportunities.
Nicely bowled once again by Abhishek. Usually in this sort of a situation, if he's bowling, he would want to just bowl this final over, get out of there without getting in for a boundary. But because he knows he's the strike bowler, he'd want to get that wicket of Shaurya. That is something that will be on his mind. Dhanvi comes down the wicket, plays it away towards deep extra cover for a single. Very good fielding. Great throw by Ritwik on the boundary to keep it to only one.
Yeah, good presence of mind from Ritwik, considering how quick the two batters were in the previous over. Stealing, literally doing so for the second run they took off the bowler in the previous over. So very good on the part of Ritwik to keep it to just a single this time around.
Brilliantly bowled by Abhishek. Very good length, not allowing Shaurya to get underneath it, but they still sneak a single, which is good cricket.
And credit to Shaurya for according the respect to their strike bowler, who has been on the money more often than not.
Dhanvi is someone who likes to use his feet, as we've seen, but a tidy over so far from Abhishek. So far we've had 5 sixes, 7 fours, most of them from the bat of this man Shaurya.
Oh, backs away and pulls it into the leg side. Will get another 4. We were talking about the boundary tally, and Shaurya Sharma is ensuring it keeps going up and up for DSOBS in this opening fixture of the Calcutta Cricket Weekend against CCFC. Elegance, timing, power. That stroke had it all and deservedly got 4 runs for it.
Absolutely. And placement as well. The placement was superb to dissect the fielders. Good comeback from Abhishek. But that will be the end of his quota of 4 overs. 12 gone. It's 110 for 2.
DSOBS having been sent into bat after Captain Donnie Singh lost the toss, have gotten 110 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. 8 overs still remaining, and the projected score is over 180. And if this man Shaurya Sharma, who's at the non-strikers end at this point, keeps going at the pace at which he is, we could well see 200 coming up, wouldn't we, Liam?
Definitely. If he's there even for another 5-6 overs, you could see them hitting 200. Anirban Das, the skipper, gets himself the ball. A loopy delivery played away nicely by Shaurya. Are they going to double up for a second? No, they won't.
The captain bringing himself in after those flurry of boundaries we saw in the past few overs. Abhishek Talani has been excellent with his own bowling, and Anirban Das is not doing a bad job himself. As you can see, he's keeping it very simple, bowling mostly wicket to wicket, using the angles very well. He's quite the tall guy, so should be looking to use the trajectory well against both Dhanvi and Shaurya.
He's a very tidy bowler, is Anirban. Senior player in the side, leading the C team this year. Comes into the slow action, but as you said, he's tall, so generates a bit of bounce. So it's not easy to play against him. Shot once again, Shaurya plays that away towards the offside, finds the gap and gets into the 70s. You don't bowl to him there, you don't give him that width, and he punishes Anirban. He knows he's made a mistake.
Christmas is over, but that was a bit of a gift from Anirban Das. Very wide, way too short for Shaurya Sharma to watch possibly a movie by the time it came to the bat. All he needed to do is middle it, lift it over the coordinate point and get a 4.
Cuts it once again. This time there will be a fielder to tidy it up. And they will come back for 2. You've got to stop those doubles in the outfield. Needs to be a little quicker. But this is smart batting from these two. Already a partnership of 41 of 24. And credit to Dhanvi. He's not done much, but he has complemented Shaurya really well by helping him take those doubles.
Charges down the track and gives it the Humpty. Should get a single only because there is protection at long off. But the misfield does allow them to come for a couple. No, it was just a single, and after the 13th over, it's 103, 113 for 2. I'm told there is some brotherly connection between Shivam Patel and Madhav Patel, and it is most likely the younger brother, Shivam, who's been tasked with delivering the 14th over. Madhav was, of course, one of the better bowlers from the CCFC side, more frugal than some of the others. And it's Shivam who's tasked with trying to stem the run flow and bring back some semblance of deceleration in this run scoring that we've seen from majorly Shaurya Sharma. And Dhanvi Shukla has played the perfect second fiddle, letting Shaurya farm the strike, face most of the deliveries. Shivam to Shaurya this time around.
Nicely bowled, and this is why they've kept Shivam back, because you don't want to bowl Abhishek and Shivam together. You want them to continue on from one side. Abhishek finishes, Shivam comes in. Shaurya goes big. He's connected that really well. But it has been put down by the fielder. Was a catching opportunity. They will come back for 2. It is Shaurya's day today. That's for sure. Shivam did well. Perhaps got him beaten slightly, but the fielder couldn't take the catch at long on.
Yeah, it was in the air for a fairly long time. But it goes begging the opportunity. Wide delivery, keeps low, doesn't connect. Shaurya Sharma. And he's received a few lifelines along the way in his 46 ball stay so far.
Nicely bowled again by Shivam, just angling it away from the right-hander, bowling round the wicket.
And it's the first bowler, if my memory serves me correctly, to be bowling around the wicket to any of these batters. So interesting choice of angle from Shivam Patel this time around.
This time short, played away by Dhanvi. Will they come back for 2? We've seen Ritwik has a decent arm, but even he can't stop them. Good running by Dhanvi. And it's very interesting to see the likes of Shivam, Abhishek, because they do a lot of white ball bowling, and that is where these certain angles and different game plans come in. Last ball of the 14th. Comes down the wicket, plays it away quite nicely actually. Tidy over from Shivam though. 14 gone. It's 125 for 2.
The body of Shaurya Sharma, and he's been the standout batter, been an absolute delight to watch in this opening game of the first ever Calcutta cricket weekend between DSOBS and CCFC. Remember, it's the first match of what is going to be a 3-game affair with 3 types of balls. This is the pink ball fixture, and later this evening we have a tennis ball indoor game coming up, and tomorrow we have a red ball match as well. So well done to the organizers.
Played away by Shaurya once again down the ground. That'll take some stopping. Pierces the gap between long off and long on, and now gets himself into the 80s. There is no stopping him right now.
Backed away, made room, stayed leg side off the ball so that he was able to lift it over the bowler's head, and the bat swing was also terrific. Ensured he had injected enough muscle into that. This time around it's Danvi Shukla who comes down the track and goes for the wild swing, doesn't connect, miscues it, gets only a single run. Well, Shaurya Sharma is closing in on what could be a well-deserved century. Just 23 short now.
Plays it away for another single. 20 overs. If he can bat the entirety of them, then it won't be great news for this man, Anirban, the skipper of CCFC. Nicely bowled by Anirban. Gets the outside edge. No slip in place. Well fielded by Andrew.
Yeah, the short third fielder was very alert to the outside edge to his left. Apprehended it just in time.
Nicely played once again. Shaurya connects it brilliantly. Long off is merely a spectator. Into the 80s he goes, and that was one of the best shots of the morning, wasn't it?
Got to the absolute pitch of the delivery, did Shaurya Sharma, and that follow through was picture perfection manifested. What a delight and a masterclass has this batting performance been from Shaurya Sharma. Into the 80s now after that 6, 84 of 49.
A bit of an anti-climatic finish to the over, just a single, but he will keep strike. He's on 85, 5 overs to go still. It's 139 on the board for the Dosco side.
Shaurya Sharma spearheading this innings since ball 1. He will be looking to carry his bat, but he'll be up against Shivam Patel, bowling around the wicket again. Flighted into the middle and leg stumps. Picked it nicely but didn't get the elevation, and to his own good fortune, It saves him from the ball going all the way down the throat of the fielder at long on. Gets to the non-striker's end does Shaurya Sharma.
Cut away once again, this time by Dhanvi.
Slow delivery from Shivam Patel this time around. In the first over, we saw him darting every single delivery. Felt more like a medium pacer in the garb of a spinner, really. Flatter trajectory all through compared to the other spinners we've seen on display so far from the CCFC contingent.
Dhanvi comes down the wicket, strikes it to perfection, doesn't even bother to run. And that's another maximum for the Dosconians. That 200 is seeming like child's play for them.
Dhanvi has had enough as a spectator. Now he takes the reins in his own hands, times it immaculately, gets all of it and sends it sailing over the ropes for a spectacular 6. Flattered this time around into the body, sky towards the fielder at deep mid-wicket, falls short, a couple of bounces and the fielder cuts it off. 1 run after that 6. And this partnership has also been quite the delight to watch. I'm sure the CCA and FC team would be scratching their heads as to how emphatic both these batters have been in their performance this time around. Drilled, and that should be a 4.
Wonderful shot from Shaurya once again. Anticipated that it would be quicker and into that Yorker length, but he still digs it away. Past cover, no chance for long off. And 150 on the board now. 10 away from the magical figure is Shaurya. What an inning so far. In the slot once again, this time a bit of extra bounce, which actually helps Shaurya. Bounced over the stumps. They will come back for 2. He makes it just in time.
Yeah, that was a tricky second run to take. And given Shaurya Sharma has been playing for the entire course of the innings, he's not very high on fuel. You can see him huffing and puffing a little bit. And the throw from the behind the wicket was pretty good. Polite inquiries from the wicketkeeper. No damage is done though. After 16 overs, DSOBS are 155 for 2. And as you can see, Shaurya Sharma is on his haunches again. He has done the heavy lifting for the batting side, taking those couples, running those singles, to go with a truckload of boundaries he's smashed around the dial. So it's been a great testament to his fitness as well. And he's just 10 runs short of what could be a century, of first one of this inaugural edition of DSOBS versus CCFC Calcutta Cricket Weekend. Anirban Das to bowl out this time, the captain.
Down the wicket again from Dhanvi this time.
And taking a leaf out of Shivam Patel, even Anirban Das has decided to come around the wicket to Dhanvi. The question is the flatter trajectory a better option against both these batters?
Nicely bowled. I think that answers your question. It is. But the main thing is consistency from the bowling point of view. If you can bowl 6 good balls, you've noticed that they won't hit you too much. But if you just stray once or twice, then you go to the fence.
Flat and short, times it, muscles it, but there is protection in the deep. The fielder at long on makes a little bit of ground and keeps it to just a single run. We are in the death overs, and Dhanvi Shukla and Shaurya Sharma will be looking to keep their feet on the pedal, on the accelerator.
Shot, cut away, but luckily into the hands of point, and they take a single of that as well. Brilliant running. And you're correct, it is a testament to Shaurya's fitness. He's batting for more than an hour. 17 overs now. He's feeling it slightly, but he knows he's almost there.
Plays it into the leg side, straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. Good throw towards the bowler, Anirban Das. And considering it's just the 2 wickets they have lost, they have lots of batting ammunition in their contingent. Ooh, that is a beamer. And out comes the left hand of the square umpire. A no ball. 3 runs of a no ball as per the playing conditions of the series. And he will have to re-bowl that. In fact, is he being asked to say goodbye to his bowling innings, because that's the end of the 17th over. Captain Anirban Das finishes off with a beamer, and DSOBS are 162 for 2. New bowler in is Shaketh Banerjee, and looks like he'll have to deliver what is going to be a free hit for the batters, thanks to the beamer that his captain bowled of the last ball of his previous over.
Short one. They don't really make use of that free hit. Tough stage in the innings for Shaketh to bowl his first over. There's 3 overs to go when both these batters are in rampant form. Shaurya on strike. Shot, pulls it away and doesn't go the distance. Should be a couple. That is the longer end of the boundary.
Shaurya cleared the front leg and eyed the ball to the very end, the very last second almost. Muscled it, but didn't get all of it. Gets a couple. 6 runs away from a century. And this time around, he gives it the Humpty yet again. Not quite getting the kind of results he wants. And there is an appeal for a run out. Slightly precarious running. But from the looks of it, Dhanvi Shukla should be safe.
Fantastic running, taking on the arm of Vedant. You get a closer look at it now. Dhanvi towards the danger end. Just about made it. Brilliant stuff.
Living dangerously is Dhanvi Shukla. But credit to him for responding to his partner's call and ensuring those doubles and singles are taken without much of a concern.
And that's 3 twos in a row. Shaurya really feeling it now. But he's 2 away from the magical figure.
What's the secret of Shaurya Sharma's energy, Liam?
Goes for the big one, and does he bring it up in style? He does! A maximum to bring up the 3 figures for Shaurya Sharma. He's taken only 60 balls, but this has been one of the most memorable innings you will see in CCFC. Shaurya with the 100.
Pressure, what's pressure? I eat pressure for breakfast, says Shaurya Sharma in his 90s. Decides to get to the milestone with a humongous 6 and held the pose after sending it over the ropes. Gets an embrace from his batting partner Dhanvi Shukla. And the CCFC crowd here are in absolute raptures. There is a drop chance and dropped opportunity right after. And it is Dhanvi Shukla who gets a reprieve in the deep. A look at that 6 that brought the 100 up for Shaurya Sharma, the first centurion ever of the DSOBS versus CCFC Calcutta cricket weekend. Was it Shaurya Sharma? Right, a 6 and a reprieve, followed by, from what looks like, a bit of repairing work. And after the 18th over, DSOBS are 177 for 2. It was in fact Shaurya Sharma who was dropped at long on. Looked like a pretty straightforward chance, but doesn't matter really, because the set batter remains in the middle with 12 balls to go in this innings. The projected score now closer to that 200 run mark that we were talking about at the halfway mark. They will be looking to finish with a flourish. Will Shaurya Sharma and Dhanvi Shukla been such great entertainment from both these batters, and credit especially to Shaurya Sharma for not just spearheading the innings and holding one end with aplomb, but also the kind of fitness he has shown throughout the course of this innings, especially by running those twos, slightly precarious and tentative at times, but they have made good on every single opportunity that has come their way. And for the penultimate over of the innings, we'll have another change being effected in the form of Shushmit Biswas.
It's not going to be easy for the likes of Shushmit. 2 overs to go. Both the batters will be looking towards that 200 mark. Dhanvi's done well, 28 of 20. Shaurya, well, what can we say? Phenomenal stuff from him. Last 12 balls of the innings. That stays within the wide line. A bit of a loopy Yorker. We've seen all sorts of deliveries. Decent start from Shushmit.
Yeah, loopy Yorker nearly on the base of the boot of the wicketkeeper. That's an interesting start for the 19th over of an innings that has had the batting side take the ascendancy and retain it for the major part of the innings. Well, another loopy delivery, full one, and this time sized up nicely by Dhanvi Shukla, who is motoring towards the 30s now. Has been great support to Shaurya Sharma throughout the course of this innings, this 50-plus stand.
Dhanvi comes down the ground, plays that towards the offside really well. Does he find the gap? Yes, he does. Not the best of efforts in the deep, but that'll be another boundary, taking Dhanvi to 30 now.
Just got the toe end of the bat to that wide-ish delivery, took it on the full, and made sure it had enough to effect that, elicit that misfield of the fielder at deep point.
Down the wicket once again, flirting with that wide line. Mayur, the keeper, misses it, and they scamper across for what will be a bye.
Yeah, the keeper is not standing up to the spinner, mind you, so there was not much of an opportunity he could eke out of that missed heave from Dhanvi. Had he been standing up, who knows, a stumping could have been on the cards. He survives and brings back Shaurya Sharma on strike.
Once again, beaten by the flight of Shushmit. They should come back for another couple. And you can see Shaurya is pretty tired right now. But he's got a couple more matches to go in the weekend. He has to remember that as well.
Yeah, save some in the tank, Shaurya, but I'm sure he wouldn't want to listen a thing from the commentators, because he's very much in the groove, in the zone that batters, top-tier athletes often talk about. Once they are in the rhythm, they've found the tempo, they want to make the most of it. And can he do the same in the last 6 or 7 odd deliveries from Shushmit Biswas, who's bowling what we call military medium pace, not express pace like some of the other paces we've seen.
Down the wicket once again, over the point region for another boundary. There is no stopping Shaurya Sharma. No matter how much you try, well, they've been trying for 19 overs and still haven't found the correct way to do so.
Throwing caution to the winds is Shaurya Sharma. Reached out for that delivery, but connected well enough to get that 4 of the last ball of the 19th over, as DSOBS raced to 188 for the loss of just 2 wickets. And from the looks of it, with that thumbs up from Shaurya Sharma, it appears that he's deciding to retire out. And I would say out, not hurt, because we've just got 1 over left in the innings. And you can make a fair assessment of him most likely not returning again over the course of the next 6 deliveries. But what a terrific innings has this been from Shaurya Sharma, retiring out for a 65 ball 112, the first ever century at the first ever CCFC versus DSOBS Calcutta cricket weekend. He's set the tournament alight with his pyrotechnics and his enterprise between the wickets. The running between the wickets has been absolutely terrific, and the more we try to make sense of and say great things about his big hitting, the big strokes he's brought out, the more futile an enterprise it will be. Last over, and it is being tonked by the batter on strike. What an excellent start to the final and 20th over. This is from the DSOBS batters. Came down, the head falling slightly over, but doesn't matter. He connected it so well, got 4 well-deserved runs for it.
Shakir taken to the cleaners. 5 balls to go. 192 on the board. We'll just pull up the new batter's name for you. Played away once again in the air and taken. Shakir gets his first wicket. Second catch for Sukesh. And that's the 3rd wicket falling.
And it is Dhanvi Shukla who has to depart for 30 odd runs. He's played his part with aplomb, but miscued this one, and it ended up down the throat of the fielder at point. An eventful first few deliveries in the 20th over. This has been from both sides after Shaurya Sharma decided to retire out for 112 odd runs.
Nicely bowled by Shakir. Almost getting another wicket, almost getting 2 out of 2. I think Fateh Veer is the new batter. He can strike it long. Dhanvi with a good innings as well. Fateh goes for the big hit. Should come back for the second maybe.
It's going to be a deluge of cross-batted shots, as you would expect at this stage of the innings. Shakir obviously got the wicket of Dhanvi Shukla, somewhat against the run of play. A very well-made innings by Dhanvi, followed up by what looks like a flourish, because they have gotten the boundary they were looking for. A 4 off the bat of the new batter in, who had replaced Shaurya Sharma.
I think it's Shrivats who has come in and smashed that away for a boundary. Should be 197 on the board. We'll just get that up for you soon. With 1 ball to go, couple of boundaries and a single. So that's 9 of this over. 197. Last ball for Shakib. It's been a decent over from him. Another edge, and that could take it all the way. They will come back for 2, which means CCFC will probably have to chase 200. And they come back for 3 actually. So that rounds up what has been a fantastic batting display from the Dosco side.
They had been eyeing that 200-run mark after Shaurya Sharma set the platform following the toss, which is where Anirban Das, the CCFC captain, decided to have a bowl first, but their plans backfired. Thanks to Shaurya Sharma and Dhanvi Shukla, who put on quite the batting display, tonking the bowlers all around the park. Dhanvi getting 32 well-deserved, well-made runs, but it was Shaurya Sharma who stood tall with his starring innings of 112 odd, of just half of the number of deliveries. 60 odd balls is all he took to get to that 3-digit score. Brought up his 100 with a lusty 6, a maximum, and ensured that his team DSOBS got to 200 in this opening game of the 3-match CCFC versus DSOBS inaugural Calcutta cricket weekend. It's time for the innings break to take effect. Make sure to join us right after the break, and we'll be back with match action and the chase here at CCFC in Calcutta. And the big hitting of Shaurya Sharma and a second fiddle act by Dhanvi as well, that we were able to see a superb first innings, a batting innings comprising deft touches, great running between the wickets, and a lot of lusty blows. So wherever you are joining us from on this live stream, sit back, settle nicely in on what is a slightly overcast Saturday here in Kolkata. We are bringing you this match live through Vienna Sport from the CCFC. It's the first fixture of the 3-game inaugural DSOBS versus CCFC Calcutta cricket weekend. And CCFC, the hosts, have a tall task on their hands if they are to get the win under their belt in this opening fixture. They need to make a staggering 201 runs in their 20 overs. It's a pink ball game, mind you. 20 overs aside, and we are just seconds away from the first ball. Wide wayward delivery will be adjudged a wide, which means the bowler, the lanky fast bowler from Doon school, starts off with 2 extras. Every single wide in the series carries 2 runs, and it is judged, it's deemed a legal delivery, and that should be a second wide from Arjun Prakash, the right arm medium pacer who is opening the bowling innings for DSOBS. So back-to-back wides. He's trying to feel for the contours of the conditions here at CCFC. Been quite foggy here over the course of the past couple of hours. It's been a 9 a.m. start, so for the past 100 minutes or so, we've seen that cover of fog linger around this beautiful venue. This has been such a landmark in the city of Calcutta for several decades now. Oh, there's an appeal for a leg before, but the umpire decides against it. It is adjudged a leg by, so it didn't get any part of the bat. The delivery from Arjun Prakash was bowling to the left-hander, a right-hand, left-hand combination, an opening tandem between Ritvik Pal Chaudhary and Vedant Gupta. Wide and gives it all, does the batter. But straight to the fielder at the edge of the periphery. It's a heavily fortified offside. At least 4 fielders manning point, cover point, and of course the covers. So getting past that inner cordon is going to be the challenge. Arjun Prakash, from the looks of it, is trying to keep the ball on the offside to the right-hander. What he might find a challenge on his own part is just navigating this left-hand, right-hand combination between Ritvik and Vedant. Challenges the stumps, guided towards the fielder at point. No runs conceded, and after those 2 wides up front, it's been a solid start from Arjun Prakash, who I'm told is heading back to his school, Doon school, come Monday. So he will be looking to give DSOBS a solid, emphatic start with the ball. They have lots to defend, 200 runs. And an early wicket or 2 in the power play will only compound the woes of CCFC. And after the first over, CCFC are 6 without losing a wicket. CCFC during their bowling innings had started out with spin at one end and pace from the other, but it looks like DSOBS are choosing to go all pace up front, and probably rightly so given the conditions. And as the second pacer is introduced into the attack, I'm joined in the commentary box by Liam Bain, who is one of CCFC's very own, has a great grasp over the terrain of the land.
Nicely played away by Vedant. Thank you, Anisha. We really enjoyed that first innings super show from Shaurya. But one thing, CCFC will never go down without a fight. Ritwik and Vedant, two of the openers, one of them need to score big. And Ritwik has been there, done that, been playing in CCFC for a long time, seasoned campaigner. Vedant, a youngster who incidentally scored the last 100, I would say, in the C team a couple of years ago, burst onto the scene as a schoolboy. Rishabh bowling the second over. Nicely bowled, and Ritwik is very stylish. Loves the full ball. Anything pitched up and he will drive you away for a boundary.
It's really heartening to know that we do have a centurion from the CCFC ranks opening the chase for them. Who wavered, dug it in short. There was an opportunity for Vedant to pull. I beg your pardon, that's Ritwik, the right-hander. And in my view, going all pace is a wily ploy on the part of Captain Doon Singh of DSOBS. We've seen both of these pacers, Liam, trying to feel for the correct lines. Both Arjun and Rishabh have been a little wavered in terms of conceding those extras, those whites, for now across the 2 overs so far. So they're trying to make those adjustments. It's not easy given the overcast conditions, and it's been quite cold in Calcutta, especially for the past 3 days or so.
Edge, is that taken? It is. Ritwik has to depart, and Rishabh gets a bit of a swing. Not the best of line and length, but it just went away from Ritwik. And that is what the pink ball can do. It can slightly cut away from you. There. Brilliantly taken. Great catch behind the stumps, and Rishabh with the first breakthrough for the Dosconians.
The ball rose sharply on the batter. It was wide. So not the most disciplined line that has fetched him this wicket for Rishabh Rajdas, the bowler. But the tall rise on the ball after it landed on a 7-stump line or so is what did the trick, I feel. Got a thin outside edge and was deftly snaffled behind the stumps by the wicketkeeper. Easy decision for the umpire. And the Doon schoolboys, the Doscos as they call them, will be absolutely jubilant for making the breakthrough as early as the 11th ball of the chase. Excellent start after that superlative show with the bat. They have gotten a sense of what might be playing out, what might be transpiring in the form of the momentum that this game might take on and how it might switch between the two sides. The bowlers, of course, the fielding side, came into this chase with a lot of confidence under their belt thanks to that extraordinary 112 odd run knock from Shaurya Sharma, and here Rishabh Rajdas, who didn't get a batting opportunity in the middle today, is delivering the goods nice and early for DSOBS.
With that, the skipper Anirban Das comes in at number 3. Bit of swing and a miss from Anirban. That's the end of the second. A good over from Rishabh. 2 gone. It's 11 for 1. Arjun, who didn't get a bat, but I'm sure over the weekend would want to, takes the pink ball in hand against Vedant.
Around the wicket to the left-hander. Interesting choice of angle there, and it's a great angle to have or bowl from as a fast bowler, especially to the left-hander, because it keeps all the options in play, right? You can try maximizing opportunities for the LBW if they happen to play in front. If you have a slip in position, can get the edge as well, and of course through the greats. Almost there. Definitely beat the inside edge. Must have gotten some part of the back pad. Is it adjudged a leg by? It is, in fact. So he is quite on the money, is Arjun Prakash. And I'm told this young lad, quite tall, lanky and wiry, so to speak, is going to go off to the US very soon to pursue his higher studies. Loves a fair bit of football as well. You've spent a lot of time with Arjun. Looks quite promising as a pace bowling prospect as well, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Takes that away from Anirban as we expected. Very talented youngster Arjun. Fantastic sportsman. Unfortunately, hasn't played too much of cricket in CCFC because of the timing of his school and studies, etc. But has played quite a bit of football. Plays for the A team in the football circuit. Nicely bowled once again. Has got quite a few goals in the last couple of seasons. It's great to see him bowling against someone like Vedant, similar age. It's a good battle between these two. Vedant knows that he's got to get some runs and has to stay there till the end, do something similar to what Shaurya did.
And it adds a different dimension. The very fact that he's a left-hand opening batter should not make it easy for the bowling side. And there you go. There is an appeal, somewhat stifled, and I believe it was going down leg, perhaps pitching on the leg. Vedant Gupta survives, and it's a great contest, right? Two young chaps fighting it out in one of the oldest clubs there is in Calcutta, which began around the mid 1970s. And here we are at the opening month of 2025, seeing young guns lock horns in an inaugural first of its kind match between DSOBS and CCFC. End of the third over, and CCFC are 20. Well, 30 without losing 30 for 1.
Rishabh will continue. Anirban plays that away very well, square driven. Should be. Oh, they'll just take a single. The running between the wickets was very good from the Doskonians. CCFC will have to try and do the same.
That was a very elegant square drive from Ritwik, the right-hander. And as you rightly said, they must look to capitalize on every single opportunity that comes their way in terms of converting those singles into 2 runs. Deftly and adeptly done by the opposition in the first innings.
On the body this time, Vedant plays it away. And Rishabh and Arjun started off with a couple of wides. It's not easy to control the pink ball, but now they've really found their line and length and their rhythm. And that's something that the CCFC Pacers didn't really find much of. Of course, Anirban did start off with a bit of spin. But when you do have the pink new ball, you've got to make the most of it with your seamers, your pacers. That's what they're doing. Cut away again by Anirban, but there is a fielder in the third region.
And I feel CCFC somehow missed the trick after winning the toss and deciding to field first. They introduced a spinner as early as the second over when you clearly had overcast conditions. And all the shenanigans that the pink ball brings with itself. So a missed opportunity perhaps in terms of not utilizing pacers from both ends. But as they say, hindsight is 20/20, so.
Nicely bowled again by Rishabh. He's beating the outside edge of Vedant, who is still searching for that first proper ball which he middles. As an opening batter, you want that, even if it's a forward defense or a back foot defense. As long as you middle the first one, then you'll be slightly calmer. Wraps him on the pads once again, struggling against that in-swinger is Vedant, but Rishabh is bowling really well to start off this innings.
He's absolutely keeping the left-hander on his toes. He's making him flirt with danger, feeling for those outside the off-stump deliveries and also wrapping him on the pads, making him jump, leap, the bounce coming into play. Terrific start from Rishabh Rajdas. And there you go. Was there an outside edge? The wicket-keeper did go to the right side, which was to his left side, but wasn't able to apprehend it. 1 run taken. And it's going to be the end of the 4th over. And CCFC are 16 for 1.
Arjun continues. And he gets Vedant, or it looked like he got him, especially the way Vedant just walked away. But another swing and a miss. For a second I thought it went through the gate on that angle. 1 of 11. Great bowling from Arjun, shaping it into Vedant.
The run rate is well under a run-up also. Terrific start from both these pacers. Full ball flicked with the angle into the leg side. Nicely picked up. But there are fielders stationed in the deep. Will only get a couple. Will Vedant. But a good-looking stroke nonetheless should inject some confidence after those iffy shots he played. Those tantalizing lines from both these pacers have been keeping both batters guessing. credit to Captain Donnie Singh of DSOBS for persisting with both these bowlers, pacers, given them 2 overs on the trot up front, and Vedant goes to the non-striker's end. Arjun is into his 3rd over.
Played away by Anirban. Just a single. Arjun starting off really well into his 3rd now. Recently finishing off from the Doon school. Was school captain. Played various sports for the school as well. And now a welcome addition, of course, to the Doon School Old Boys Society.
And DSOBS, of course, is one of the most influential old boys networks in the country.
Looking for another heave there, Vedant. Understanding that Arjun is swinging the ball into him. Although those cross-batted shots against the new ball is something that you don't really want to get sucked into.
It's fascinating that DSOBS have opened with 2 bowlers who have either graduated or are about to graduate on the spectrum of a 10-year gap. Ooh, pings him on the pads again, does Arjun Prakash. You can see and hear a lot of oohs and ahs going around from the infielders, those in the catching positions, and Arjun Prakash has been trying to get that LBW from the left-hander Vedant Gupta. Arjun Prakash, as my fellow commentator Liam mentioned, graduates this year. Another pearler of a delivery. Doesn't get a wicket of it, but he's closing in on that first dismissal to his name is Arjun Prakash. End of the 5th over, and CCFC are 21 for 1. A look at that last delivery, full length delivery, and perhaps was going down the leg side with that angle around the wicket. Vedant Gupta survives, but he's living dangerously, isn't he, Liam?
Yes, he looks pretty frustrated. 2 of 14, not being able to negotiate that swing, and the ball cuts a lot. So the issue he might be facing is, having faced the pink ball a couple of weeks ago, is that it starts off maybe near the off stump and then finishes near your leg stump or outside leg. So it cuts quite a bit. Nicely played away by Anirban. Not sure. Yes, it has gone through the gap for 4. Couldn't really spot it there. But that's a welcome boundary in the last over of the power play.
The first 4 off the bat of Anirban Das, the captain. One of those taller batters, using his levers very well. Plonked his front foot. Great hand-eye coordination, and just flayed his hands. Got his hands nicely through the offside, found the gap, and it went for a 4. A much needed boundary for CCFC, chasing a whopping 201 runs in this 20 overs aside contest.
This time shorter, tried to cut it away, but the extra bounce helping Rishabh. They need a lot more of those boundaries. 176 in 88. That's going to be very tough.
Prodigious movement as well off the surface, jagged back in so much after landing well outside the off stump from Rishabh Raj Das. Rishabh, of course, is from the 2015 batch. We were talking about the 10-year gap between this opening tandem of Rishabh and Arjun. So he passed out in 2015, was part of the Oberoi House at Doon School, and is now flying the flag high for the illustrious Alumni Association, that is DSOBS, founded in the early 1900s. And they have carried on a rich legacy of sport across the country and beyond.
Full toss this time. Vedant plays it towards mid-on. Fateh didn't want to go for that dive. They're smiling a bit. Well, if there is a ground you want to dive on, it is CCFC, but I don't think he wanted to risk it. It's a long weekend. Just short of Fateh. And speaking of short, that is a short ball smashed away by Vedant. That is a gift indeed. And they need a lot more of those. He gets his first boundary. That will give him some confidence.
It was dug in short with that extra effort. Rishabh bending his back, as you can see. But Vedant was up to the task. He was onto it in a flash. Got tall on that, got on top of it, and flayed it past the fielders at point and backward point. Gets a well-deserved 4. And Rishabh Raj Das has conceded 2 fours in his second over. And quite a deviation from his first 2 overs.
Nicely played away again by Vedant. Goes through the fielder's hands. They should come back for 2. Some good tidy footwork in the deep.
Welcome to the Calcutta Cricket and Football Club. Some footy skills being put on display. End of the power play, and CC and FC are 32 for the loss of the solitary wicket. And to the uninitiated, CC and FC has been a towering landmark, a club filled with a lot of history, legacy in the city and in the country. Started out as a cricket institution and then assimilated football and rugby into it as one of the premier institutions for rugby as well, and has seen some of the most illustrious, distinguished people from across various walks of life grace this hallowed turf. And this hallowed premises as well hosts a lot of events. So if there's one place to be on a morning like this, holding a cup of cha in your hand, it is the CCFC, as we are sipping on our own cups of milk tea. And coming in as the first change bowler is Anuman Gol. 3 overs, a piece bowled by both Arjun Prakash and Rishabh, who were very good and disciplined with the responsibilities they were entrusted with. 32 runs, just a little over a run a ball. What do you make of their performance, Liam?
Great stuff with a new ball in the power play. It's not easy to control the pink cherry. They've done that really well. Picked up a wicket of Ritik, which was important. And Vedant hasn't really got going either. Anirban's looked decent. A bit of extra bounce there for Anuman. And the numbers on the back of the jerseys of the Doon players, basically their school numbers or their roll numbers. So that's why you'll see different ones. You see 48, 432, 492, etc.
Looks very cool, I've got to tell you that. Looks very, very cool.
Nicely bowled. Came inside and then shaped away from Anirban. It beat the keeper as well, and it'll go all the way for 4.
It beat everything, missed everything. The batter, his pads, his bat, the woodwork, the wicketkeeper, and went pretty much on a straight line from underneath the wicketkeeper's legs and kept going all the way to the fence for a 4. And I love the look on the wicketkeeper's face. He was absolutely flummoxed as to how he missed that, but well, you know, you can be pardoned for a slip up like that because it's not easy keeping to the pink ball, as you rightly mentioned, Liam.
This time an inside edge. Lots of the runs are coming behind the wicket. Nicely fielded. We said that it is a football club as well. We saw the first nutmeg of the day when it went through the keeper's legs all the way for a 4.
Everything is happening. Yeah, in Calcutta, you can never keep the football out, right? Even in a cricket match, because it's so intrinsically associated with the cultural, the socio political fabric as well for the sport and the city and its association. So, yeah, lovely to see the Doon boys, the Doskos, bringing out those delectable footwork.
Cut away nicely again by Vedant. And as you said, you can't keep the football out of it in Kolkata. Even the bowler's name resembles a goal.
Touche, Liam. What's your next commentary assignment?
Well, incidentally enough, it is football.
There you go. Yeah, man, Liam is quite the authority on cricket and football at CCNFC. And I say it in all seriousness because for our viewers who might not be keyed into what he does, he has a terrific grasp over the sporting landscape at CCFC, and it helps that he lives literally a stone's throw away. So he must be waking up every morning and keeping one eye on who's playing who and in what sport. At the ground, just right across.
Nicely bowled once again by Anuman, just teasing that outside edge of Anirban's. Good over, 7 gone, 38 for 1. And absolutely lots of sports taking place in CCNFC. We've got the cricket season up and running. A few pink ball games. We started off our season with the Presidents versus Vice Presidents 11. For the first time ever, it was a pink ball fixture. Usually it's a red ball fixture. And the season is divided pretty well. You start off with the red and pink ball, and then we move into the white ball later on, where we've got limited overs cricket. We have a T10 franchise league, which we've hosted in association with KKR for the last 6 years. So that'll be coming up soon. Lots of our players play against each other there. And after that, we switch on to different sports. As you said, there's hockey, football, rugby, darts really picking up, tennis, badminton, cycle polo as well. So name the sport, we've got it covered.
I love how you flexed that last bit, and you know, rightly so, because there's so much happening and so much being done with great execution and a great team of people. So credit to CCNFC for continuing the rich sporting legacy of this city, especially in this part of the city. And I'm also told that a lot is being done on the sidelines to make CCNFC and the sporting landscape of Calcutta, Kolkata, whichever way you want to put it, make it more diverse and inclusive by also getting women into play, into the action. Tell us a little bit about that, Liam. You're way more keyed in to that set of things than I am.
No, absolutely. As Apurva comes in for the 8th over, doesn't start off too well. That's a wide. Ball is counted, 2 runs added to the total. And speaking of women's sport, which is picking up in leaps and bounds throughout the country, trying to do the same in CCNFC as well. We've been having a women's football team for the last few years. The women's rugby team is doing really well. Lots of a few of our women's players playing for the state and in the nationals as well. The women's cricket team has started a few seasons ago too. They play mostly the indoor tournaments with the tennis ball, but slowly but surely we're trying to patch a full-blown women's side together, where we play a bit of deuce ball cricket.
How do I sign up, Liam?
Oh, you're most welcome. And of course the other sports as well, where it's tennis and badminton, darts, the women are doing really well. So yes, inclusivity, that is something that we really pay heed upon as well. Nicely bowled this time by Apurva. Finally getting his line and length right.
Yeah, kudos to the think tank behind the CCFC's sporting wing for thinking out of the box and beyond the obvious, and thinking along the lines of inclusion and diversity, because these are not just corporate keywords. These are very much elements that are part of the 21st century, especially in 2025, which is going to be a big year for women's cricket, women's rugby and women's football and women's cricket. You spoke so eloquently and so well about it. The ODI World Cup is going to be held in this very country in India, and right across the street, so to speak, the Eden Gardens is going to host a few marquee games in September, October. So all Calcuttans, make sure to keep a close eye on that. The Women's Cricket ODI World Cup is coming home, and hope it comes home really. All right, that has not come home from Apurva Maheshwari. That went all the way towards Colombo or Colombia, because quite wavered it was in terms of the line. A couple of wides up front, and this has been adjudged a no ball. So no runs conceded off the bat in his opening over, but already 7 of just extras. Middled it very well, but only to find the fielder at deep square leg, who didn't have to move at all really. But thanks to that free hit, it meant he survives. And Apurva Maheshwari, after that slightly iffy first over, is going to make way for potentially another pacer. Interesting that DSOBS captain Donnie Singh has persisted with pacers up front. Might we see a spin bowler, Liam, and who could that spinner be in your view, given you know most of these players from the DSOBS landscape as well?
Well, for now it's Hanuman who will continue, but our very own Abhinav Khetri could come in. He's a good spinner who's played quite a bit of cricket in CCFC over the last few years. I'm sure he would be waiting to get the warm-up signal from his captain. Hanuman will continue. It's the 9th over now. We'll just get the scoreboard sorted out. Cut away nicely by Vedant. Timed it to perfection all the way for 4, and now he's moving along really nicely. This is exactly what CCFC wanted. One of their star batters to keep going.
Yeah, Vedant is finding his rhythm now. Was struggling initially, constantly being pinged on the pads, especially by Arjun Prakash, but he's sussing out the lens and the lines really well, and also being helped by the slightly outside off-stump line from the pacers. This time around, too, after that cut that fetched him a 4. He guides it towards sweeper cover.
We speak so much about the sporting culture here in CCFC, and the same can be said about the Doon school. We went there with Vienna Sports in 2024 and covered their annual SKV Memorial game. Pulled away by Anirban. That is a fantastic shot, but straight into the hands of the fielder once again. Great shot, but he gets nothing off it. In fact, he'll have to walk back to the pavilion. Hanuman gets his man. Anirban will be distraught.
It was nicely pulled away, but didn't get the elevation. It was down the throat of the fielder at deep mid-wicket. Again, possibly did not figure out, or just lost sight of the fielder there, who was stationed there, and has to lose his wicket. The captain, Anirban Das of CCFC. And the second wicket falls in this tall chase of 201 with just 50 runs on the board. And Hanuman Goel strikes, gets himself into the wickets column. The required run rate now over 13 runs and over. 151 needed of 69 deliveries. They have a mountain to climb, do the CCFC boys. Do they have that power hitter in their ranks? Somebody who can play a longish innings while also delivering the fireworks, because it's not much of a get your eye in sort of a situation or a luxury of that kind that the batters from the CCFC ranks have at their disposal.
Well, I think that will be Vedant. I think that will be Vedant because he can hit the boundaries and needs to bat long. He's fit as well. He's pretty young. Sukesh is the new batter though. Tries to flick it away to start off. And as I was saying about the Doon school, a fantastic facility where they've got, if you think CCFC has sporting facilities, then Doon school, well, wonderful fields. They've got every sport covered, some indoor sports as well, racket sports, there's a swimming pool, everything. Nicely bowled again. And the Doon School Old Boys Society cricket team has done quite a bit of travelling. They play a few inter-alumni cricket tournaments at international venues and keep travelling. And the fact that this used to be an annual cricket match is now converted into an annual cricket weekend where the Doon School are not only playing CCFC but other teams and other venues as well. Just goes to show. Nicely played away by Vedant again. Times it and times it really well. Has that gone all the way? It looks like it has. So that's more or less a square drive for 6.
Terrific shot that, very minimal feet movement there. Just lunged back ever so slightly and caressed it, almost helping the ball along. Superb shot. Brings the new batter, Sukesh Verma, to the crease. It's been an all-pace attack so far. 4 pacers deployed. Rishabh Raj, Das and Anumal Goel picking up a wicket apiece.
Apurva will continue and Vedant has shown that he can stay there for a while. He's been there for 9 overs now. It's gone by pretty quickly. He's shown us he can hit the 4s and 6s, so he is the key in this run chase.
Purva Maheshwari from the Kashmir House from the batch of 2007. Bowling his second over, nicely lifted and lofted over the fielder past the point region. Gets a 4, does Sukesh Verma. His first boundary of this innings. Got a deft assessment of that delivery. The short pitched ball very well and early on, which allowed him to get on his toes and made sure that it was over the point cordon. Will that effect into the point fielder being moved more towards deep point?
I think it's not a bad idea actually. Once again, wider. Has been signalled as a wide. Sukesh Verma is from the army. He's a colonel, as we call him. Also very enthusiastic sportsman. CCFC and the army have a very good affiliation. Is actually an army premises, the CCFC. Nicely bowled this time by Apurva. Straight to the fielder.
Na 0 dB hai.
Will take a single though. Getting Vedant back on strike, which is what CCFC would want more of.
Interesting to see how heavy and off side field it is. Point, backward point, a slightly shortish extra cover, and of course the orthodox cover fielder bowling around the wicket to the left-hander and flays it past the fielder. The diving fielder at short cover should pick up a couple. Vedant Gupta is ticking along nicely, not at the rate that his side CCFC needs in this tall chase of 201, but the fact that he's taking the responsibility to shepherd his side, they can choose to fall like a pack of cards, or the other option they can take is put on a fight, which Vedant is making sure they do. And with a couple of good-looking strokes that Shukesh Verma has played, it looks like we do have a match on our hands.
Nicely played away. Great piece of fielding down at backward point. And they will come back for 2. Wonderful running. And this is a big difference. The fact that Colonel Sukesh is pretty fit. He is complementing Vedant. We saw that earlier. That is important when you play these sorts of games. It's a very big ground here at CCFC. So 2s are pretty easy to take. And you've got the likes of Abhishek Telani to come in as well. He's another good batter. So CCFC could just pull this off.
Lunges forward and plays it towards cover once again. End of the 10th over. And CCFC are 70 for 2. At the halfway mark of this 201 run chase, CCFC, the hosts, are 69 for 2. The required run rate over 13 now, and we have at long last spin being introduced in the form of Abhinav Khetri, somebody we know very well, somebody who has been working on the sidelines very hard to make sure that you get the visuals and the commentary of this match in the form of the live stream. An alumnus of the Doon School himself and the proprietor of Vienna Sports. Got his shades on. Is looking the part. Is our boss. And I'm being told by one of my colleagues is he's got the action of one of the more prominent spinners on world circuit. And guess who that prominent leg spinner on the world circuit is, according to my colleague Shondeep Da, as we call him lovingly, the great Shane Warne. Do you agree with that, Liam?
Well, as you said, he looks the part, so maybe he's talking about that. But Abhinav, he does have a unique action for sure. It's mostly his load up, which is his left arm before he releases the ball. There you go. And then it's a nice off spinner, a bit of extra bounce. They're asking the question, but it's not out. They were pretty excited, but Colonel Sukesh did not touch the ball.
That's a superb take by the wicket keeper. Was a one-handed take. Juggled it a couple of times, perhaps on the third or second attempt. Was able to snaffle it. Flicks it off the pads. But there is some protection in the deep, who does a great work, great and quick pick up and release. Pretty on the money in terms of the throw at the non-striker's end. Abhinav Khetri is giving a good account of the assessment by our colleague Shondeep Da of his resemblances with Shane Warne. At least as tidy and economical like the great Australian late legend that Warne was and is.
Flighted delivery. Nicely played away by Vedant. Over covers into the gap for 4. Putting along nicely. Now the youngster gets into the 30s. Poor ball from Abhinav.
It was so loopy that it gave Vedant enough time to size up the flight and the length and just caress it in the form of a lofted drive lunging forward. Good looking stroke yet again. 31 of 30 now is the left-hander. Straying down leg will be adjudged a wide. 2 runs added of what is, remember, a legitimate delivery. Wides and no balls are taken into account as legal balls, but wides carry 2 runs, whereas no balls are penalized with 3 runs.
It was there to be hit. Vedant will be annoyed that he didn't sweep that away. Another loopy delivery played away to long on. That'll be 9 of Abhinav's first over. 11 gone, 78 for 2. Left arm spinner. Spin from both ends. Here at CCFC is bowling from the tennis court end or the pavilion end.
Vineet Kunzru, the left arm spinner from the Tata House, and the batch of 1982 from Doon School in Dehradun, Uttarakhand, is one of the oldest alumni playing for DSOBS, oldest in the sense of when they graduated. So it's good to see the mix of alumni and current players. They have a stumping opportunity, gone a begging. The wicket keeper wasn't able to collect it at all. A little bit of disappointment on the face of Vineet. Another very good delivery. He's constantly challenging the woodwork. And the angle, we've not seen any left arm spin as yet, right?
Different sort of angle which is working well for Vineet. So Kesh comes down the ground, hits it over the umpire's head, but there is protection. Fateh is down at long off. 30 run partnership of only 17 deliveries, which is pretty good. Vedant will be eyeing that leg side now that the left arm spinner is bowling. Comes down the wicket. Was there an edge? We'll have to wait for the umpire's signal. Keeper misses it though. Trickling away. Abhinav stops it just in time and throws it towards the third fielder.
I'd love for there to be some communication between Vineet and the wicketkeeper, because it looks like he's trying to fox the batters and elicit the stumping opportunity, and a successful opportunity at that. He's throwing the ball pretty wide for the left-hander, and this time around it's guided towards sweeper cover. We'll get a single. A good start, just 5 runs for Vineet Kunzru of the 1982 batch of DSOBS. And after 12 overs, CCFC are 83 for 2. Abhinav Khetri, the leg spinner, to continue and is going to bowl his second over. The current run rate is just a shade under 7, 6.92, while the required run rate is hovering perilously around 15. Remember, CCFC are chasing 201 thanks to the batting masterclass put on by Shaurya Sharma. Peter Hooper is the new batter in.
Another stalwart of CCFC, plays every sport possible. There's Peter. And gets knocked over by Abhinav Khetri. Top of off stump. That's exactly where you would want to bowl it. And he gets his first wicket of the day. And maybe of the Doon school weekend. Maybe a few more to come for Abhinav. Nice flight. Played all over it there, Peter.
A golden duck to the name of Peter Hooper is castled first up. Gets just rewards for his line and length, and not to forget the flight does Abhinav Khetri, the leg spinner. Quite an eventful start to his second over. And let's take a look at that dismissal. The ball took the top off, middle and off. Did that flighted delivery from Abhinav was too close to the body of the batter Peter Hooper, who goes without bothering the scorer. And with that dismissal, in comes Kinjal Basu. As things continue to slip out of the hands of CCFC in this 201 run chase. Run rate required to get a win on the part of CCFC is well over 15 now. They will need to go all guns blazing, will Sukesh Kinjal and the rest of the batting unit. Two young chaps in the middle. Kinjal, the younger of the two batters. Sukesh is the more experienced of the two campaigners. Can the left-hand, right-hand combination cause some headache to the opposition side? We did see Vedant, the other left-hander, steer the proceedings for a fairly long time. Can Kinjal turn the fortune around, difficult as it may look at this point? Oh, what a delivery! Castled again, nonchalant. Look at that celebration, that reaction from Abhinav Khetri. That is a dead giveaway to how elegant that delivery looked. Just went through the gate, completely flummoxed the new batter, Kinjal. It looked like the emoji, you know, when you shrug, the one you see on WhatsApp. Like, guys, I'll do it in my sleep, said Abhinav Khetri after that dismissal through his body language. But it's good to see the camaraderie between the two teams, and he's been amongst the wickets, has taken a few, has Abhinav, and rightly being applauded by his teammates.
Let's take a look at the wickets as Aditya Gupta is the new batter to come in. So let's take a look at the wickets. Firstly, the celebrations from Abhinav. We'll get that on for you shortly. That delivery to Kinjal, you would expect it to go away from the left-hander, but just drifted in. Fantastic stuff from him. So he's on the hat-trick now. Let's take a look at it again. Looped and then suddenly skid through and went into Kinjal. It's the hat-trick ball now. Abhinav Khetri steaming in. Can he pick it up? Loops it. And Aditya Gupta plays it away and denies Abhinav what would have been a hat-trick that we wouldn't have heard the end of.
Excellent build-up to that hat-trick delivery. So many fielders in catching position brought in by the captain. And he's been bowling with so much discipline, has Abhinav dubbed the Shane Warne of DSOBS by one of our colleagues earlier on. And he is delivering the goods this time around. Flayed over the infield in the offside. Great shot, sounded extraordinarily well. Did that stroke off the blade of Aditya Gupta. A well-fetched 4. And he gets off the mark with a boundary.
Great shot by Gupta ji, as we fondly call him, the secretary of the cricket section in CCFC. He's done a great job setting up the season, this season and previously as well. In the air, goes for another big one. And Abhinav gets wicket number 3 within the same over. 5 balls, 3 wickets. Super stuff from Abhinav.
Raises the ball after getting his 3rd wicket with a wide grin on his face. And rightly so does Abhinav Khetri. He is on course to delivering what could be a triple wicket maiden. It is in fact a triple wicket maiden. In fact, that was a 4 of the last delivery. Look at those 3 dismissals effected by Abhinav Khetri. He's been on the money. And there has been a 4, of course, of the blade of Gupta ji before he was caught in the deep towards the side screen by Goel. 3 wickets, conceding just 4 runs of his 2nd over. And after the terrific platform laid by the Pacers, Abhinav Khetri is well on course to emerging the standout bowler of the innings. Has already gotten a 3 wicket haul to his name. Vineet to continue from the other end.
It's all falling apart for CCFC. Vineet will continue. 5 wickets gone. Madhav Patel is the new batter. Highest of 44. Doesn't bat too often, but claims that he should be batting a lot more. Stats for Vineet coming up there. 23 wickets. He'll want to add a few more to them this weekend. Madhav will get off the mark. Sukesh Verma is still there. He watched that eventful over where Abhinav picked up 3. It looks like this particular edition of the DSOBS CCFC game and a trophy, a fantastic trophy, which will be presented later. It looks like it will be going towards the Doon schoolboys this time round. Colonel Sukesh comes down the ground, looks for a big heave, but only manages an inside edge. It's great to see that this fixture was revived last season. CCFC winning it last year. This year looks like it's going to the Dosco side. Next year, we might have a decider. Nicely bowled again by Vineet, not giving Sukesh any room.
Both these spinners have stemmed the run scoring that we briefly saw, thanks majorly to Vedant, who retired hurt. And the introduction of spin has compounded the troubles for CCFC. Their run rate currently just a shade over 6.5. Makes room, goes well across the off stump, but only to pick up a single. Madhav Patel scampers over.
Flatted delivery, played away nicely by Sukesh. Over covers all the way for 4. There is still some fight left in this CCFC team. He ends the 14th with a nice boundary. It's 95 now for 5.
Following up on their terrific performance with the bat, the Doskos are putting on quite the show with the ball, and leading the charge with the ball has been leg spinner Abhinav Khetri. Took 3 wickets in his 3rd over, took out Kinjal up front, followed by the wickets of Peter Hooper and Aditya Gupta. Was on a hat-trick, didn't get that, but his 3 wickets have pegged back the opposition considerably, and from the looks of it, the match is well out of the reach of CCFC. Abhinav being justly rewarded by the opposition for his disciplined lines and lengths, and the flight has been a great delight to watch the way he has maneuvered his trajectories, but challenging the stumps, not giving anything away to the batters. And here is a chance of a potential additional wicket, but no, it falls in no man's land. It was a full toss, and there was a run out opportunity as well. A quick sharp throw from the deep at the wicket keeper's end, but the batters survive. It was Sukesh Verma running to the danger end from the looks of it.
Looks like somebody's injured themselves, so yeah, looks like it's Dhanvi. He's hurt his calf perhaps, and there's Dr. Nasimul Haq, who is a live wire, who's the physio for Vienna Sports and also for CCFC. See him throughout the season, whether it's cricket, football, and especially in the rugby season. Become a part of the family here. Full toss from Akash, played away by Madhav. It's looking tight now. 17 runs per over required. Abhishek Talani has not come out to bat, which is surprising. But Madhav trying to get a few big hits. Gets a bit of an edge on that. Could come back for 2. Or could go all the way for 4 actually. It does trickle all the way for 4. A handy boundary for Madhav.
Absolute bonus, you would think that was. It just kept going towards the ropes. The fielder stationed at the other end did try to give it a chase, but in vain. 7 bowlers have been deployed in this defense by Captain Donnie Singh, skipper of DSOBS. Flighted delivery, a full one. Drilled towards the fielder at sweeper cover. Should get a couple. Good running between the wickets. It's good to see the enterprise despite what looks like an imminent defeat on the horizon for CCFC. Akash Agarwal Binj Rajka is from the 2010 batch and makes room and just swivels past to flick it, almost pick it up languidly towards the fielder, deep square leg. Runs are coming for sure, but only in the form of singles and couples. That won't unfortunately do it for CCFC, given the required run rate, which is close to 19 now. Charges down the track and should be gone, is gone. Akash gets his first wicket of the innings and Sukesh Verma has to depart. He goes for a 13 ball 12, is adroitly stumped by the wicketkeeper, who's been quite active behind the stumps. A look at that dismissal from Akash. Darted in short, slightly back of the length after seeing the batter charge towards him. And all the wicketkeeper needed to do is ensure he collected the ball cleanly and dislodged the bails.
A great stuff from Dinesh Reddy behind the stumps with the gloves on. Took a very good catch in the first, or to dismiss the first batter, Ritwik. And after that, has had a few chances and takes this one eventually. 6 wickets fallen now for CCFC. Looks like Vineet will continue. 97 to win 5 overs. It's a tall ask. Siddhant Gupta joins Madhav. Who is on strike right now. Will played away for a single there. Bit of extra bounce from Vineet.
Yeah, the troika of spinners have been very impressive, led by leg spinner Abhinav Khetri, who's been the pick of the bowlers, taking a 3-wicket haul. Vineet Kunzru, the left arm spinner, has also been very much on the money. Not this time around. Concedes a wide. Well, commentators curse if you believe in a phenomenon like that. And Akash Binjrajka as well picked up the last wicket. The clarity on the part of Donnie Singh, the DSOBS captain, has also been very commendable. He knew exactly how to marshal his bowling resources. Started out with pace up front. Nice little swivel pickup shot from Siddhant Gupta. Gets just a single. And Donnie Singh then entrusted his spin bowling trio with the responsibilities to deal the body blows in the form of wickets, and they have done exactly that.
Nicely bowled again by Vineet. Last ball of the 16th. Siddhant plays it away. Good to see some youngsters getting a game, and the CCFCC team should come back for 2. And that will end Vineet's 3rd over. 4 to come. It's a 1-1-1 for 6.
And it's lovely to see the captain, Donnie Singh, from the 1982 batch, representing Tata House, jersey number 878. And looks like after CCFC winning the title for the past 2 years, I'm told, he's well on course to getting the better of the opposition, at least in this opening game of what is a 3-match affair. The captain has led his side adroitly on this morning at the CCFC in Calcutta. Akash to continue.
Donnie Singh will be very happy with the way his side have played, especially Shaurya. What a performance from him. Akash bowls that really well, gets a bit of extra bounce, well kept by Dinesh. It's a matter of time now, they'll want to get their overs in. have a quick lunch and then head for the tennis ball game, which is being taking place at Club Arena. Pulled away only as far as the infield. That is a new facility Viana Sports is associated with. It will be a fun tennis ball indoor game. Kolkata's first AC turf facility, which will be very handy in the summer months. Good shot from Siddhant, but straight into the hands of mid-on. Akash gets his second, and that's 7 down now for CCFC.
It's falling like a pack of cards. The batters on the CCFC team didn't get any elevation whatsoever. Easy, straightforward take, almost a dolly for the fielder at mid-on. And the second wicket to the name of Akash Binj Rajka. This is Siddhant Gupta departs for a single-digit score. And looks like we'll have one of the younger batters coming in to bat. He's definitely padded up. And I would love for CCFC batters, the remaining lineup, to go all guns blazing. And hello there, who do we have in our midst? Who is this young pocket-sized powerhouse, Liam? Lovely to see the mix of youth and experience in this weekend of first ever DSOBS Calcutta cricket affair. Rehan Singh, the new batter in, taking strike.
Yes, this is Rehan, 11-year-old, who's playing for the C team. Will he get his first runs on the board? Yes, he will. Well done to the youngster. That's the first of many he'll score here. And we had a nice presentation in the first match of the season, where Rehan was presented his first CCFC cap by one of the ex-presidents, Mr. Dipankar Nandi. So that was a great moment for Rehan. Great to see an 11-year-old. So this is the beauty of these games. He's always smiling, such a great thing to see. So you've got someone like Donnie Singh who has seen it and done it all, and you've got Rehan who's getting up for the first time.
And this is what it's about, right? The contest between CCNFC and the DSOBS Dosconians. So much of cultural exchange happening, the exchange of youth and experience. And it's great to see that in the closing overs of this opening fixture of DSOBS's maiden outing in the Calcutta Cricket Weekend affair, has a youngster take center stage, all of 11 years, as mentioned by my colleague here, Liam Bain. His helmet surely looks bigger than his head. But I love the enterprise and the confidence with which he got off the mark with that single. So well done you, young man.
It's great to see, and this is something you see quite often in CCNFC, where it's even common for, say, a parent and their child to play in the same team together and share some great experiences. Nicely played away by him. We've even seen family members of maybe 3 generations all playing together. So that is something which is great in CCNFC. In the air from Rehan. Almost getting run out. And what we're trying to do here, whether it's cricket, football, or any of the other sports, is encourage the youngsters to play and just get a feel of how it is to, say, represent CCNFC in a C team fixture or something of the same, something of the same sort. And he looks like he's enjoying himself.
And never rule out the possibility of young Rehan Singh, all of 11 years, going on to study at Doon School and represent DSOBS at some point.
Yes, that would be great as well. Nicely played. And great to see from Mayur, who's at the non-striker, telling him giving him a word of advice, and then the shot after that from Rayan was a lot better, technically speaking. That is how the experienced campaigners tend to guide the youngsters here in CCFC, and I'm sure the same will be in the DOSCO side, with the likes of Arjun coming in and some other youngsters. The experienced people in their Doon School Old Boy Society will also be feeding them with a lot of knowledge and experience.
Right. What do we have on our hands then? Last set of 12 balls to go. 88 needed of them. So win is realistically out of the equation, though mathematically still possible. But a few big hits is still on the horizon. And a couple of wickets more for Abhinav here can get into the feet of a 5 for taker. How would that be for this very prominent DSOBS alumnus?
Let me tell you something. That is in the back of his head. That's why he's maybe fishing for a wicket. Mayur plays that away. They should come back for 2 maybe. Abhinav, who's got 3, he's itching for a 5. I know it.
He's quite competitive, isn't he, Liam?
Oh yes, he is. And he loves collecting wickets. He loves the game so much. Let's see what he can produce here. Loops it up in the air. Goes for the diving attempt. And can't stop the ball though.
Dive, Abhinav, dive. Work hard for your potential 5-4. Well, there was a possibility of a return catch. It was played straight towards the right of the bowler by young Rehan Singh. Pushed the batter back, and it's that tantalizing flight of Abhinav's that is planting the seed of doubt in the head of Mayur Bhajanka, the striker. He came forward a couple of steps, then went back.
Does the same again. Abhinav doesn't want to give him any sort of room to hit a boundary.
I love his spirit. You know, he's got the smile on his face. He's so enthusiastic about everything he does, whether as an entrepreneur or as a cricketer. Oh, close, close. Perilously close. Agonizingly close for Abhinav as far as that 4th wicket of his is concerned. Missed everything. Last ball of the over, and it's played into the deep mid-wicket region. Played across the line by Mayur. Takes a single. Should retain strike. Abhinav finishes his 3rd over, and after the 19th, CCFC are 116 for 7. Just the last 6 balls remaining. And we'll have Mayur on strike. DSOBS closing in on an important win and an enthusiastic display with both bat and ball have thrust them at the threshold of a victory against CCFC in what is DSOBS's first ever Calcutta cricket weekend. And guess who is going to bowl that final over? Lovely to see the captain, the great Donnie Singh from the 1982 batch of Doon School, decide to bring himself in. The skipper rolling his arm over with some spin, a flighted delivery to start of the proceedings, and is maneuvered into the leg side by Mayur. They say you save the best for the last, and looks like the skipper has done that. Brings with himself so much experience, not just as an alumnus, but also what he's done professionally and as part of the Doon School Old Boys Society.
Absolutely great to see Donnie Singh with ball in hand. Loops that pulled away by Mayur. And this will be fascinating to see Donnie bowl to Rayan.
conceded a 4, in fact, the first ball. There was a fielder, but that fielder was, in fact, a spectator clad in whites at the other side of the rope. Young Donnie Singh bowling to young Rehan Singh. Lovely little moment this in the context of the fixture and the history and heritage this fixture carries. Remember, CCFC are winners of the past 2 editions, and DSOBS are on the verge of sealing their win against this hallowed opposition of theirs.
Mayur pulls it away again. It's in the air though. And Donnie Singh himself gets his first wicket and celebrates as he should.
He's congratulated by Akash and the other teammates of his. Yay, Donnie! Went out the holler from the sidelines by his other squad members. Tried to swivel pull this one, did Mayur, but found the fielder coming in from deep mid-wicket, settled under it nice and easy, and he gets his first wicket of the very last over of the match. And just a little celebration in the form of raising his hands aloft, and that very amiable smile from Donnie Singh. Madhav is going to be at the striker's end. Last 2 balls of the match. How about Donnie finishes off with a hat-trick, Liam? We've seen a lot of stuff happening, great shots. Somebody else was on a hat-trick, Abhinav himself.
Madhav comes back in. He was retired hurt just to give everybody else a game. That'll be a wide, and the ball won't be counted because it's the final over. So it's regular cricketing rules. Pulled away. In fact, it was counted, and that will be that by the looks of it. The DSOBS register a huge victory over CCFC, and they win this annual cricket match, and they start off their annual cricket weekend with a win.
DSOBS have clearly turned the tide against CCFC, winning their first encounter against the opposition in 3 editions. And they've been deftly led by the great Donnie Singh, whom you see on screen. Lots of handshakes going around. DSOBS win by a staggering 75-run margin. The player of the match, unsurprisingly, is Shaurya Sharma. Dished out the fireworks, scoring 112 of just 65 deliveries. He kept the scoreboard ticking with those lusty blows, but also with the amount of hard work he put in between the wickets, putting on an enterprising stand with Dhanvi as well. Credit to Captain Donnie Singh for marshalling his troops very well. But it was a victory set up largely by Shaurya, who put on an absolute masterclass of fitness, great cricketing shots, and awareness as well. Kudos also to CCFC for being great ambassadors of the sport. And we saw a great mixture of youth and experience taking center stage here at CCFC in what is the opening match of the first ever DSOBS Calcutta Cricket Weekend. And this match will be followed by a tennis ball fixture at Club Arena later this evening, starting 3 p.m. or thereabouts. And tomorrow, of course, there is a red ball assignment in the lineup as well, and that will be at Merlin Rise. So lots of cricketing action, high quality, enthralling your screens, no matter the size or form, wherever you're following this live stream from brought to you by Viana Sports. We'll be back with the presentation ceremony soon, so do make sure to join us.
On আছে? On, okay.
যে যন্ত্রতে কাজ করছো সেটা তোমাকে খাওয়ায়, সেটার যত্ন আগে। নিজে স্নান করো না করো, যন্ত্র যেন কোনো কিছু না হয়। তো প্রাইস ডিস্ট্রিবিউশনে কি অবস্থা? এই মৃণালদা, তুমি এ করো, শুভর কাছাকাছি থাকো, ঠিক আছে? তোমার 3 নম্বর ক্যামেরা, শোনো, তোমার 3 নম্বর ক্যামেরাটা দিয়ে প্রাইস ডিস্ট্রিবিউশনের দিকটা দেখাও তো আমায়। হ্যাঁ, কোথায় 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 করেছে দেখো। যা যা, চলে যা শুভ, ওখানে চলে যা, ওখানে যা। 2 নম্বর তুমি মাস্টারে ছিলে, তুমি আমাকে না বলে কি করে ঘোরালে? এই কি যাচ্ছে কি এটা? থামো, স্টপ। আমাকে না বলে কেন ঘোরাবে তুমি? অন এয়ারে আছো তো? মাস্টার দাও, 2 নম্বর মাস্টার, 2 নম্বর মাস্টারে যাও, এবার যাও। ইয়ার কি বিয়ে বাড়ি হচ্ছে নাকি যে অফলাইনে কেটে দেওয়া যাবে? ক্লাব হাউস ধরো, ওদিকে ক্লাব হাউস ধরো, 2 নম্বর ক্লাব হাউস ধরো। হ্যাঁ, থাকো, হ্যাঁ, ফোকাস করো একটু। থাকো ওটা। শুভ, তোর ক্যামেরা কি হয়েছে? 2 নম্বর কোনো মুভ করবে না। হ্যাঁ, ট্রাইপড ট্রাইপড কই তো? উপর থেকে ট্রাইপডটা নামিয়ে আনো, ওটা ক্যামেরাটাকে রাখো, শুভর ট্রাইপড নামিয়ে এনে শুভকে দাও। তুই যাস না, ভারী চেয়ার, তুমি যাও, তুমি যাও। তিন নম্বর ক্যামেরা খুলে নিয়ে চলে আসো মৃণালদা। হ্যাঁ, দিয়ে প্রাইস ডিস্ট্রিবিউশনটা করে দিয়ে আর এক জায়গায় যেতে হবে, আবার উল্টো দিকে ঘুরিয়ে দিল। ঠিক আছে, চলে যাবে। দেখ তো ব্যাটারি কি দেখাচ্ছে এর ক্যামেরা, আরে তিনটেরই ব্যাটারি দেখ, ফুল দেখাচ্ছে তো? ক্যামেরা ব্যাটারি একবার একটা লাগবে। এখান থেকে ক্যামেরা ব্যাটারিটা খোলো, ওটা পরে শুরু দেখুন। এখান থেকে ক্যামেরা ব্যাটারিটা খোলো, পুরো শুরু পাঠাও। ক্যামেরা খুলতে হবে, ক্যামেরা খুলতে হবে। খোলো, ব্যাটারি খোলো। ক্যামেরা ইজেক্টেড, ব্যাটারি ইজেক্টেড সুইচটা কোথায় রে? ডিসপ্লে লাগানো থাকলে ব্যাটারি চলে যাবে না? ডিসপ্লেটা খুলতে হবে না? না, ও ক্যামেরা ব্যাটারি পাঠালাম। আচ্ছা, এর ব্যাটারি আছে তো মাইকের? মাইকের ব্যাটারি খুলতে আছে তো? ই করতে করতে মাইকের ব্যাটারি শেষ হয়ে যায়। মাইকটা ফালতু অন আছে। একটা কাজ কর, তোর ওখান থেকে মাইকটা অফ কর, লিয়ামের ওখান থেকে অফ কর। লিয়াম কোথায়? লিয়ামকে ডেকে নে তোর কাছে। লিয়ামের কাছ থেকে অফ কর। তুমি কি ক্যামেরা করো? কি কাজ করে যাবে ক্যামেরা?
কাজ করেছে
কতদিন ক্যামেরা করছো?
আমরা তো আমি করেছি দুবাইয়ের সাথে আর কি, যেটা বিয়ের
কতদিন ধরে?
এটা 2000
টাইপড ক্যামেরা করেছো? তো টাইপড থেকে ক্যামেরা খুলতে পারছো না কেন?
এটা মানে তখন স্ট্যান্ডগুলো অন্যরকম ছিল। এবার এখন তো নতুন নতুন জিনিস
এগুলো
এসেছে,
যেগুলো
মাঝখানে একটু ডিটাচও হয়েছিল ওই লকডাউন দিয়ে।
তুমি ক্যামেরা করতে এসো, আমি কিন্তু তোমাকে নোটিস করলাম। আমি কেন আমার এটা তুমি টাইপড থেকে ক্যামেরা করতে পারো না, বেসিকটা জানো না। এগুলো থেকে নোটিস করে মানুষ, মানে তো পুশ আছে।
আমি পুশটা করেছি, কিন্তু আমি সামনের দিকে আগে যে ইউজ করেছিলাম পেছন দিকে ঠেলে খোলার ছিল, এটা দেখলাম সামনের দিকে। মানে নতুন জিনিস এসছে, তবে হ্যাঁ
থাকতে হবে তোমাকে, থাকলে আস্তে আস্তে হয়ে যাবে। হবে না তা বলে কোনো কথা নেই। সবাই মানে কেউ জন্ম থেকে কেউ কিছু শেখে না, কিন্তু হয়ে যায়। শুভ, আমার শুধু চাই ওই ফ্রেমটা। তো হ্যাঁ, তুই তোকে আরো এদিকে সরতে হবে। আচ্ছা, মাইকে অফ করে দিয়েছিস তো? লিয়ামের মাইক, লিয়ামের মাইক অফ করেছিস? লিয়ামের মাইক অফ কর। লিয়াম কোথায়? তুমি সব এ করো, ব্যাগে ভরো ক্যামেরা। ঠিকঠাক ভাবে বুঝিয়ে করতে হবে তো? আচ্ছা শুভ, 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 প্রাইস ডিস্ট্রিবিউশনের পর তোর কাজ হচ্ছে এখানে এসে আগে পিসিআর গোছাবি, তুই আমি আলাদা মিলে। ওরা সব কেবল ফেবেল খুলবে, ঠিক আছে? করে তাহলে কি হবে, পিসিআরটা আমি নিয়ে আমার গাড়িতে তুলে নিয়ে বেরিয়ে যাব। ঠিক আছে, আমার গাড়িতে তুলে নিয়ে পিসিআর বেরিয়ে যাবো, গিয়ে আমি পিসিআর সেটআপটা করে ফেলবো। কিছু টাকা দিয়ে গিয়ে থাকবে। তুমি কেবল খুলতে থাকো, তোমরা কেবল খুলতে থাকো। শুধু হ্যালো, শুধু 2 নম্বর কেবল খুলবে না, ঠিক আছে? এই 3 খুলে ফেলো, গুছিয়ে নাও। 4 কোথায়? 4 কোথায়? তোমার কাছে ছিল পাওয়ার। ওটা 2। ও পাওয়ার তো ওদের, আমাদের ওদের আমাদেরও আছে। ও তাহলে চাঁদে ওদের পাওয়ার বোর্ড, চাঁদে ওদের পাওয়ার বোর্ড 2 আছে। তোমরা 3টা গুছিয়ে নাও কেবল পুরো।
কলকাতাতেই কাছাকাছি যত
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, এসো আসো। ওই মনিটরটা খুলে গুছিয়ে নাও তো দুজন মিলে। ওই মনিটরটা খোলো, খুলে বুঝাতে পারবে? মনিটর ভাঁজ করতে পারো তো? হ্যাঁ টেনে নাও, পাওয়ার টেনে নাও, খুলে নাও পিছন থেকে পাওয়ার করে দেবো। হ্যাঁ তো দাও, মনিটরের পিছন থেকে টেনে নাও। আরে বাবা এত টাইম লাগাচ্ছে কেন রে ভাই? ওরা জলদি করতে বলো, এখানে ম্যাচ দেরি হলে ওখানেও দেরি হবে। হুম দিতে বল, ভালো ভালো বলতে বল। চেক দিতে বল। মাইক অন নেই মনে হচ্ছে। তোর ওখানে অন আছে? না, নেই 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 নেই। যা গিয়ে মাইক অন করে দিয়ে আয়। পিছনে লাল নেই নেই। হ্যাঁ? আরে মা, ওর মাইকটা অন নেই। বুমটা অন নেই, স্টপ করা, স্টপ করা। হ্যাঁ 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 হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে। হ্যাঁ, তোর ওখান থেকে অফ ছিল। রেডি? জিজ্ঞেস কর রেডি কিনা। রেডি? বলতে বল।
Post-match presentation of the opening fixture of the inaugural DSOBS Calcutta Cricket Weekend 2025. And what an exhilarating affair it was, with DSOBS defeating CCFC C team by a staggering 70-plus run margin here at CCFC Calcutta. A loud applause up front for every single player who competed in this extraordinary affair, which has a long tradition and history across both CCFC and DSOBS. A long line of awards and tokens of appreciation will be handed out over the course of the next few minutes. And to kick off the proceedings, I would like to invite the great Doon Singh, member and of course a feted alumnus of DSOBS and the captain of the side. Welcome, Mr. Singh. First off, very many congratulations on ensuring that your side got the better of CCFC, defeating them for the first time in 3 editions. First up, I'd like to invite Mr. Anirban Das, captain of CCFC team. And it's the CCFC C team who will be receiving a token of appreciation. All right, I've been told just mention CCFC team as they rightly should be. And Mr. Das gets a token of appreciation on behalf of DSOBS from Captain Doon Singh. Next up, may I invite Mr. Adit Osatwal, captain of CCFC cricket section, to collect his token of appreciation from Mr. Singh, please.
Thank you for hosting us. Good game, thank you.
We can surely keep the applause going as I invite Mr. Jahan Mehta, sports coordinator of CCFC, to come forward and collect his token of appreciation from the great Doon Singh.
Thank you for having us.
Following up is going to be Mr. Irfan Ahmed, vice president of CCFC.
Token of appreciation.
And a beautiful little plaque being handed out by Mr. Doon Singh on behalf of DSOBS to the illustrious and heritage-filled legacy carried on by CCFC.
Thank you.
And a special cap presentation to somebody who represented CCFC today, but I'm told he's going to switch over to the other side very soon, as early as April 2025, the young Rehan Singh. And what a moment this is, young Rehan Singh collecting his cap from the great Doon Singh. He is officially now, I'm told, a Dosconian, and what a beautiful little moment. This is emerging from the very turf of CCFC. And do not forget the great little 6 balls that we had, Doon Singh bowling to the great little youngster, Rehan Singh, in the 20th over of the chase. Congratulations, young man. Absolutely. May I now invite Mr. Irfan Ahmed to come forward, please, and hand over the awards, a few awards for the fine performances we saw across both sides. First up is going to be the best batter. Any guesses? Any guesses? It's going to be Dhanvi Shukla from DSOBS. Dhanvi, may I invite you to collect your award for the best batter from Mr. Irfan Ahmed and Doon Singh. Well played, and an extraordinary partnership stitched together by Shaurya, and Shaurya will have to do his own little time here much later. But next up is the award for the best bowler, and it goes to Akash Binjrajka. Stemmed the run flow in the middle overs did Akash. Looks a little surprised, but don't be, Akash. A well-deserved honor. Collecting that little award from Mr. Singh and Mr. Ahmed. Next up is the player of the match from CCFC, and the award goes to Vedant Gupta, the young opener who brought out those silken drives and cut shots, opening the batting. Congratulations, Vedant, who is adjudged the player of the match from the CCFC side. And finally, may I request you to applaud and welcome the player of the match from DSOBS, easily the standout player of the game, and it's a certain Mr. Sharma. Sharma ji ka beta, Shaurya, please. What a fine knock that was. Of only about 65 balls, this gentleman scored a whopping 112 odd runs, tonking the bowlers all around the park. Commiserations, CCFC. You can settle your scores with Shaurya whenever you want to. And as we inch closer towards the close of the presentation ceremony, I would first like to invite all members of the CCFC team to collect their medals, please. And we'll have both Mr. Ahmed and Mr. Singh handing out the medals to first the members of the CCFC team.
I'll tell you what.
In fact, it will be Mr. Ahmed and Mr. Singh handing over
Let's call Anirban, please come.
the entire allocation of medals to Captain Anirban Das.
Cheers, yeah.
And congratulations to Mr. Das and his side for what was a memorable opening fixture of DSOBS first ever Calcutta Cricket Weekend. And Shivats, may I invite you forward, please, to correct your medal as well. Ended up on the winning side. And finally, the coveted prize, the winner's trophy, to be handed out by Mr. Irfan Ahmed and Mr. Donnie Singh to all members of DSOBS. Congratulations, come on in, boys. Well done. An extraordinary performance that was with both bat and ball. And you set the tournament alight and set the platform for the first ever DSOBS Calcutta Cricket Weekend, defeating CCFC by a whopping 70+ run margin. And it's time for the players from the winning side to take center stage as they pose with Mr. Donnie Singh, the skipper, and Mr. Irfan Ahmed with the coveted trophy. All smiles, as they rightly should be, as we bring the curtains down on the post-match presentation. A big thank you to all players from both sides for their participation, the camaraderie as well. Well done. And may you long carry on this tradition between DSOBS and CCFC. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you shortly. Second match of this 3-game assignment, that is the first ever DSOBS Calcutta Cricket Weekend 2025. Thank you for joining us, and see you soon.